welcome to another installment of DI How to Wise webinar. I'm Shawnee, training evangelist here for Dealer Inspire, and as you well know, my job is to bring you all kinds of amazing information on what we're doing, innovation, what we have what we're working on, what we do for you, and basically just answer those questions that you guys have. Quick little housekeeping thing here. Everyone's going to be on mute. So if you have any questions at any time, please send them via the chat function on GoToMeeting. Or you can always drop me an email at dihowdoi@dealerinspire.com. Also remember to fill out all your the surveys. Some of these few topics here were pulled directly from the surveys. So, we had some people who specifically want to know about excuse me, model pages and comparison pages and, more analytics. So that's what we're doing. So please go ahead and fill those out and we'll take a look. Also, this webinar will be posted online on our website within 24 hours, usually sooner. But, at least you'll be able to check that out there if you need to. And you can also subscribe to our Dealer Inspire channel on YouTube and see them there as well. So I would like to get started and introduce my guest for I must have missed it. Yeah. Well, let's skip down here and let's introduce him so you can see his face because it's so handsome. All right. So we had a little bit of a scheduling. So you may have seen this guy's face on a very lovely lady's body. That is not his body.
I wish.
We did a switch out. We did a little switcheroo. So we have James Podrasky with us, who is a content strategist instead of Crystal. But, they're both amazing. They're both incredibly smart and know their stuff. So thank you, James, and thank you for being such a fun sport with the videos and the pictures. So what we're going to talk about are model pages. I know that a lot of us have. I don't know if you want to go ahead and scroll back up while I'm talking. I know a lot of our clients have pages that are geared towards their models and all that stuff. So what are these things and what is the benefit of them?
Sure. Model on-site is a page devoted to breaking down the key aspects of a particular vehicle. You may already have something like it on your dealership site. Sometimes we see what they're called research pages. Usually that's content provided by the automaker, or other times dealers often try to make their own. And I'm here to tell you about the best practices, whether you're going to work with us or if you're going out and getting creative on your site. When we do model on-sites, from a writing perspective, we try to get inside the minds of shoppers and see what kinds of information they're looking for, breaking down the most important parts of the vehicle. Some shoppers, they're interested in fuel economy of a car, others want to look at features, and it also depends on the geographical area. A customer in Canada, most of the time they're looking for a truck or a giant SUV, but out in California, they might be looking for a hybrid or something like that. So,
So when you're checking out, thinking about those, you basically are, you're trying to find the thing for that car. You take a look at the models and the makes and the models, the dealership and their location. You kind of put all that together and, also work with the dealership on what to focus on for these model pages, right?
Right. We're trying to usually break down 3 to 5 important selling points of a vehicle. The goal is to give a quick breakdown of the model to the customer. Obviously, we can't include all the information in one page, and you also don't really want to, because a customer or anyone online isn't going to want to spend, an hour reading through a 10,000 word vehicle page and think of your own browsing habits on the web. You're looking for something right away, and our goal is to make these pages easily skimmable and provide the information to the customer directly. So one of the things we do when constructing these pages is we pay careful attention to keywords. One aspect of that is target cities. You could have a very informative vehicle page on, the 2015 Honda Civic, but if it's not geared towards customers, you're going to be getting people from all over the country, even the world. And while you may be getting a lot of page views, it's not going to translate into people coming to your dealership. So it's important to pick 2, 3, maybe 4 key areas to focus on in creating the model on site. Usually that's the dealer location, a nearby competitor. So if there's another Nissan store 2 towns over, you want to get that in the content, so that way people generally aren't searching for dealership name. A lot of times they're thinking, I want the Chevy Spark, in my area. So they type that into Google. So if you have a model page and you're in Arlington Heights and the other Chevy dealership is in Chicago and you're targeting Chicago in the content, then you can hopefully pull away traffic from people who are searching for the Chicago dealership. That's one of the big goals here. The other thing too is you don't want to be overly spammy with using locations in the content. You want to be natural, just a quick few references. Sometimes you see on typically older pages, a dealership is listed, we serve the following 50 cities, and Google is just going to see that it's spammy, it's not going to help you, your page isn't going to show up. So just put it in there a few times and you're good. The other thing too is we use Google AdWords keyword planner a lot, and that allows us to see exactly what customers are searching for in a specific region. Like I said earlier, someone looking at one car in Chicago may have different interests in it. They're looking at like the size, the fuel efficiency. Am I going to be able to easily parallel park this, or
right?
Or I have a cargo van and I need to go through these tight city alleys, so it needs to be this long. But someone who lives, out in the Great Plains area, desert, don't have the same issues. They may be interested in other things.
Like fuel economy.
Right. Yeah. Your area, gas prices might be crazy. Another place, they might not. So we try to look at what people are searching for in the state, in the cities we're trying to target. And then that's generally how we structure the model page. People are looking, for example, at specific trims or features or performance, cargo space, etc. And generally pick between 3 to 5 of those and organize the page that way.
So one of the things that I'm hearing is that it also sounds like content when you're making these Model 1 sites, there's twofold. One, we want to make sure that they're search engine optimized. We want to make sure that Google says, okay, this is great, this is natural, we can put this out there. At the same time, we also want to make sure that consumers are able to, look this stuff up, get the information that they need. It's natural, so it doesn't feel manufactured. It doesn't feel like just like a computer program just spit out a bunch of keywords, so it's not stuffed. So they're also getting information at the same time. So yeah, so it sounds like it's, really involved. There's some thought put in here. It's not just about like, oh, hey, check out the cool new features of this car, but there's really like some thought.
Correct. You want it, the page to be easily skimmable by breaking it into distinct sections with large headings. So they look on the page, they can find the information they want instantly, and then these pages always direct them to the new inventory or a contact form. So they can find the information, and then if they need more, they can call you right on the page or send a contact form or check out what you have in stock.
Okay.
Let's move on to some of the next steps for when we have our page up. So the model on-site is generally just the first step. After that, we have a whole bunch of supplemental pages that we use to link back to that model on-site we create. And that helps show Google that this vehicle on-site we've created is an authority. When you're searching for something online, like, I don't know, what's something you searched for recently? Where you wanted
Legos,
information.
Scooby-Doo Legos.
Right. So you typed in Scooby-Doo Legos,
Yep.
and what were some of the things that came up?
Let's see. I got some. I got Scooby-Doo Legos pretty much right away, but then I also got like Scooby-Doo action figures. I got like the Lego um, shopping list. So there's like a bunch of different things in Google that took me to a bunch of different places. So that's the last thing I looked up.
Yeah. Well, ideally, this model page through this process could be your ScoobyDooLegos.com. The first thing you find that Google knows that this is going to help consumers. This provides the information they're looking for.
Yep.
But in order to do that, here are some of the steps. Oh, well, here's a diagram. This is a good way to think about it. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme. You're at the top and you.
Oh God, no! Don't think of it as a pyramid scheme.
But you're the one making all the money.
I know. That's why you can't think of it as like you're gonna make it lose all the money.
Yeah, you're the one who's going to make the money, and blogs and vehicle comparisons and used model pages and whatnot are your housewives selling Tupperware for you.
All right. So basically, what I'm getting from this is like you want to have those link backs because are they what are they called? Like, are they called link backs?
Backlinks.
Backlinks. Okay, yeah, because like you said, that shows that this page is legit, basically, right?
One of the easy ways to do this is with blogs, which already, if you have a dealership blog, if you don't, you should get one. You want to be updating it regularly. What do you put on there? Some of it's questions customers regularly have. Another thing is we can use blogs to target specific, what we call long tail keywords customers are searching for. And this is something that might be too specific for a vehicle on site, which we want to keep kind of broad in general. But if we really want to get into, say, performance and engines, and the Corvette comes with what V8 engines, and it has this awesome automatic transmission, blah blah blah. That would be too much information to put in the vehicle on site. In the model on site, we want it to just be, these are your performance options. It's got 8,000 horsepower. It gets 80 miles per gallon. But here we can get into other things people are searching for, like colors, a specific cool feature that's come out. I remember when Honda put a vacuum in the 2013 Odyssey or whatever it was. That was a big thing people were interested in. So a good blog we did was on the Honda vac. And then here's an example of a straightforward blog. 26 Honda Civic getting a redesign. It's out pretty soon, so a lot of people are searching for that. But we don't necessarily want a whole page with 350 to 400 words of information on a model page. But here we can get more into the nitty gritty of the changes and the appearance and new features.
And this is a good example of. I know we did a webinar recently with Charlie Ford about that WordPress SEO Yoast plugin. So for anyone who's doing their own content or writing their own blogs, that's a really powerful tool. And the way this blog post is set up here is, with different segments and headers, and as James just mentioned about 350 words or so. That's going to really help boost your SEO, and that plugin will help you do that as well. So that is just a quick little blurb about that.
And in the first paragraph here, you can see a link back to the 26 Honda Civic on-site we've created, and then there's also We mentioned Baton Rouge, Gonzales, Denham Springs. So just a few cities, casually mentioning it. They're nearby.
Okay.
Let's move on to comparisons. Here, you're trying to show the differences between two models within the segment, the 2015 Civic versus the Toyota Corolla. Here's an example. Again, as you can see, we're looking back to, this one is for the GMC Acadia versus the Pathfinder. There's a link to the Acadia right there, the Acadia model page we created, first paragraph. These are a good tool to target your competitors. You've got a Nissan dealership right next door, Honda dealership one town over, your model that you sell a lot and this other one are pretty competitive. And this is also a good way to insert keywords again, targeting the area of your competitor, whether that's the same town or a nearby town. So this way you're starting to get traffic for these other model names to your site. So people might search for 2015 Nissan Pathfinder and hey, now they're looking at the GMC Acadia, they love it.
Go buy it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and actually this is going to be the topic of our next week's webinar, comparison pages. So so we'll get more in depth on that. So all part of, it's all part of the, the package, with Dealer Inspire, the web platform package, all these pieces and parts fit together. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah. Come back next week. Ryan will be doing that one, I think.
Yep. Our ex-CEO. Ryan, he was CEO for a day, for anybody who gets that joke. Joe's still here. Yeah.
That would be terrifying. Another thing we can do is used car pages. You carry used cars on your lot. We know a lot of people search specifically for different model years in the past. They'll search for a 2010 Ford Focus or whatever. They know what they want. And so these can also boost your model pages while drawing traffic for used cars. There's different ways to structure these depending on, some dealerships come to us and they say, I wound up with 200 of a specific model year vehicle, please help. Mm-hmm. So we might try to narrow in on that one, or we might also create a page that tries to show the customer what are the differences over the past few years between the 2014, 2013, 2012. Are there any changes, or, can you look at all these models? Is it okay to save money and go with the older one, or should you really go for that newer one because it has this safety feature?
Right.
There's just an example. So yeah, you can see the top of this one is breaking down and looking at different generations, and that's how that one is structured. But we're flexible and we're always doing different things with all these kind of pages. We also do what we call hub pages or model on-sites. And these, rather than trying to focus on a specific year or trying to draw in general traffic for that model while then subsequently directing it to specific year model pages. For instance, we generally have on there the current model, the future one that's coming up. Some of them might link to specific used model pages, and we'll also display the comparisons. So a customer gets there and they kind of all the information they want and pathways to different areas to get more information about whether it's the current model or a future model on-site we've created, and they can decide, hey, I really want to go in tomorrow, or this is out next month and it's going to be redesigned, and I'll call the dealership now and say I'm interested and get more information about that.
Okay, so hub pages are basically like what it sounds like. I'm picturing a wheel, like one of those old school wagon wheels. So, the hub is like kind of like in the middle, the hub page, and then you have all these different spokes, and maybe the different types. Like for here, the Porsche Cayenne, which my birthday is next year, so anyone who wants to buy me this, I'm okay with that. So we can see the different type of model. So it's kind of like spokes, like the hub page, and they have the spokes to the different types of
Yeah.
Trims or what have you, however you have it set up.
Yeah,
so,
it's a much better analogy than my pyramid scheme. I think of it as like a wheel. So that's generally what we're trying to do with all the pages we create. Is we're trying to make this connected network and tell this unified story on your site, and make your dealership site an authority on that page, which will help boost Google rankings for the site overall, draw more attention, get in more customers. The other thing is, with these kinds of pages, like nothing has to be set in stone. We can customize model onsites. We're very flexible. It's one of I think, one of the differences between Launch and Digital Dealer Inspire is that, I've worked at other digital marketing agencies and they have their very specific, rigid formula. But here, we're going to try to do whatever is best to get the customer and to help boost, Google rankings, whether that's create a $10,000 crazy on-site that has separate pages that link out to, different trim levels and features and make this huge crazy thing, or, we're trying to narrow in one specific thing.
Right. All right. Yeah. Well, we do want to inspire the dealers. So, yeah, that is, you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of these things is, especially if you have a marketing package, with Launch Digital, and for anybody, is interested, any dealer inspire clients who are interested in, some of these options, especially with, CEO or, SEO or design or, paid search, then, shoot an email to sales@dealerinspire.com and, kind of see what else, or sales at launchdigitalmarketing.com, either one. And, kind of check out some of these packages, especially since you can see that, there's a lot of thought put into them. They're very robust. But, we can also, it's one of those things where, if you're hands-on, then you can also take care of it, and we'll give you the tools to help you do that. So yeah.
And we have lots of a la carte options if you don't want to get into a fixed content plan. And if you want to see any more specific, different types of examples, I'd be happy to send you those after the webinar.
All right. Well, you heard the man. If anybody wants to see any examples, and we got them. So let us know. So I think, what's the, that it? Are we? There it is. It's James. James again. So there we have it, folks. Does anyone have any questions for James while we have him here? While you're thinking of those great questions, I'm going to go ahead and, as I mentioned earlier, next webinar is going to be with Ryan Podrasky. He's an awesome guy. He was our CEO for the day yesterday, and he got us pizza. So there might be a mutiny, so we can get more pizza. But he is going to be doing one on comparison pages, and he's going to show us how you can use them to your advantage, and how they tie in with all the other aspects of our web platform that we offer. As James mentioned, how it's a robust network of pages that does nothing but help you, and with bringing traffic to your site, with making sure Google and Yahoo and Bing and other search engines are like, yeah, this page is great. I'm gonna put this at the very top so people know that they're legit, and their content is A plus. If you think of any questions and you have some later, then please feel free to send me an email at dihowdowhite@dealerinspire.com, or you can reach James at let's go back up to your slide. There you go, J Podrasky. Did I spell that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I always get confused. I always get scared. It's like, oh no, I spelled it wrong.
I think James P at Launch Digital will also work.
Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, give us a holler and let us know if you have any questions.